Good blessed Wednesday, April the 13th, 2022. The time being about 12:44 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm here at the park, normally where I be feeding my ducks, but it's preoccupied, a few cars over there, and I like to be alone. But you can still see the I-57, Interstate 57, that white truck there, that's piggyback, going southbound on Interstate 55, probably heading towards St. Louis or Memphis. That truck right there with the red cab heading northbound on 57. But I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace. And the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, your personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you're the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. I'm going to start with it. It don't matter whether you're the most educated or think you're the most educated person on the face of this earth. I greet all you all with that same universal greetings of peace, and the blessings of God be with you. I'm in here, the little part of the other park here. You can see what that said there. First steps into the Louisiana Purchase. Y'all better take a look at that. Bring you back to slavery. But this is a park in Charleston, Missouri, right off of Interstate 57, where you get off of Boomland to get gas, cheap cigarettes, collect them items. But I come here for a reason today, and I want to share something with you all. If you don't have your pen and paper here, or you don't have a photographic memory, get your pen and paper out. You know, I want you to take a look at these here. It's part of this park here, you know. And this, you know, Charleston, Missouri, in some parts, not all people, not all whites, not all blacks. Carbondale, Illinois, not all white, all blacks. This is what it remind me of, as if you see the brother at the end with the paddle, you know, it remind me of almost slavery. You know, after going to Southern Illinois University in Carbondale campus, and listening to a black man that supposed to be highly educated and have the top position as the CEO and president of the national chapter of the NAACP. Now, once upon a time, and I say once upon a time because I don't see it universal like this. Once upon a time, the NAACP stood for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Today, with the national president and some of the other presidents nationwide, it's the National Association for the Advancement of Certain Colored People. And I'm not saying all NAACP chapters is like that. You see what I'm saying? But I want to show y'all something about this guy, Derrick Johnson, who I got a chance to see. Didn't normally get a chance to introduce myself to him no more than from the mic. As you seen in the Southern Illinois University at the Student Center in the ballroom, he never stood up for the crowd when he was speaking. He sat down like he was some king of Egypt or something, you know. And a lot of people didn't like the way he answered my question concerning my then 45-year-old black son who was found hung on Friday morning March the 19th, 2021 in a hallway in Carbondale, Illinois. If you don't know the story, look up my YouTube and you will see it. But I want to tell you something about what he said when he mentioned the fact that I told him I filed a complaint with the local chapter of the NAACP in Carbondale, Illinois, which is a female. And if you look at my YouTube when I was talking at the mic, look to the right, you will see her sitting there right in the front. Put her head down for a minute because she knew what I was going to talk about. You know, they haven't responded to my complaint, but let him tell it. Derrick Johnson, their national chapter president for the state of, the country. Let me get y'all get a good look at it. You see what he says on here? He said the leading fight for justice, equity, and equality. Equity is just like getting the equity and equality is like getting the same treatment that any other person would get. My son should have got the same treatment that Derrick Johnson gave Jesse Smollett in Chicago, Illinois, who got convicted of a crime. He took time to send a letter all the way up to Cook County, Illinois, to the judge. But let me show you who he wouldn't recognize. Let me try to get it out, y'all. I'm by myself. He wouldn't recognize my son. Y'all see what it says? Justice for Brian Lamont Johns. He wouldn't recognize my son Brian, because my son Brian not only is black, but my son Brian had been to prison. My son Brian was homeless. My son Brian he was on drugs, and all of that went against him. But now Derrick said that the local chapter in the NAACP, period, they don't deal with stuff like that. We have to get private attorneys. But let me show you some history on Derrick. You see, Derrick remind me, y'all, of him and some of these other blacks. If you look at the Underground Railroad, a movie I believe came out, I believe it was last year. It's called the Underground Railroad. It's a little black short midget helped the white people hunt down runaway slaves. That's what Derrick Johnson and some of these other NAACP members and presidents, not all, they remind me of women and men. Now let me show you how Derrick lied about what the NAACP don't get involved in. I'm gonna take y'all from 2011, March the 31st, 2011, when Derrick Johnson was the NAACP State Conference, Mississippi State Conference president. And let me tell you what Derrick did then, and I want y'all to take your notes down to Google it up. Google up, black man found hung in Mississippi County, Mississippi County Jail, the Mississippi County Jail, that's in the state of Mississippi. And the NAACP speaks up. Derrick Johnson pushes federal investigation for the Greenville hanging of a brother there in Greenville, Mississippi. This was March the 31st, 2011, when Derrick Johnson was the Mississippi State Conference president. He ran the state of Mississippi. Now he ran the nation Let's go to October the 23rd, 2014 in Jackson County, Mississippi, when a coroner ruled a jail hanging suicide. I want you to Google that up and see that if the Mississippi County NAACP get involved with this hanging. I'm gonna tell you they did. Let's go to March the 19th, 2015 in Greenwood, Mississippi, where there was a death investigation of a hanging. See if the NAACP got involved with that. I'm gonna tell you right offhand they did. Let's go to May did I say March the 19th, y'all, of 2015 in Greenwood, Mississippi? If I didn't, that's what I meant. Let's go to May the 14th, 2018. Mississippi NAACP seek FBI probe into another hanging. But let's go now. I'm going to take y'all to two that I personally covered here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. Two brothers that died inside of the Mississippi County detention center jail right here in Charleston, Missouri. Let's start in 2017. I got YouTube videos on it. Did no NAACP in this area, none other than in Tennessee, where the guy that got beat up by some Charleston, Missouri police officers here in Charleston, Missouri, and some Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County deputies in the den who was the sheriff at the time in May of 2017. Look it up. Tory D. Sanders death. And the NAACP here didn't get involved, but the Tory D. Sanders stumbled here in Mississippi County, Charleston, Missouri, had a mental issue, told the police, but they murdered him inside the jail, even though they didn't get charged with murder. But the actions that they took, it caused his death. But they said it was an anxiety attack. But look up that and see if the NAACP got involved. Not the chapter here in Charleston, Missouri. They don't get involved in anything when it's coming against a wrong against blacks. Now you talking about some grant money, then you gonna get it. Or you talking about some high-class doctors like with Derrick at SIU, then you gonna get the attention. But you look that one up, it was May of 2017 in the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Jail. The NAACP from Nashville, Tennessee got involved because this young man who lost his life here in Charleston, Missouri, his mother and his family lived in Tennessee, and the Tennessee NAACP got involved. So Derrick lied a lot so far, ain't it? Now let's go to this year. Not this year, but last year, September the 22nd, 2021, where another black man lost his life inside of the same Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Jail. I believe it's either Tyrone Anderson or Tyrone Chappell. I believe it's Tyrone Anderson, another young brother who died in there. They said it was a medical condition. It haven't been in the newspaper yet, just like my son's. And my son's been over 13 months now. But look up that case, y'all. September the 22nd, 2021. Black man died in the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Jail. You ain't gonna find it in the newspaper because they didn't put it in there. But you can find it on my YouTube video. You see what I'm saying? You will see me protesting with the family. You will see a NAACP, the Missouri NAACP state conference president came all the way from, I think, St. Louis or Jefferson City to take on the case of that case. You see what I'm saying? But Derrick Sanders said they don't have Derrick Johnson said they don't have the resources, and the NAACP don't deal with that. Now, when y'all see Derrick Johnson again, y'all ask him about some of them cases. But that guy, I wonder how many more cases You see what I'm saying? In Charleston, Missouri, some of us is living like that brother is on the back of that, I don't know if that's a war canoe, but that on the back of that boat. Some of us is living like that. People have been calling me since I spoke at, asked the question to Derrick Johnson at SIU and amongst all of them deans and doctors who didn't give a damn about my son Brian Lamont Johns' death. If you Google up the death of Brian Lamont Johns in Carbondale, Illinois on March the 19th, 2021, you ain't gonna find it unless you see it on my YouTube video, because they didn't put it in no newspaper. No NAACP presidents, only one black NAACP member in Carbondale, Illinois, and he don't even fool with the chapter in Carbondale because they not doing nothing. He the only NAACP member besides me and my two daughters, 15 and 16, that showed concerned about my son death. It's raining out here, y'all, but I want y'all to get another look at if I can get his picture up out of here. Derrick Johnson again, y'all. I don't even want to get it out, y'all. The wind don't even want me to get it. But I want y'all to remember Brian Lamont Johns, y'all. Google it up. See if you can find it anywhere besides on Raymond Lewis Ivy YouTube channel. See if you can find it in any newspaper. Wouldn't no newspaper or no news outlet wouldn't even take the story, y'all. But one thing about it, I ain't gonna give up. And don't y'all think Derrick Johnson, the national president for the NAACP, and some of these other presidents and members of the NAACP give a doggone about the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People and certain people. Peace be still.